If you're seeing this, it's already happening. You might think you just scrolled past this by chance. You might believe something about the title caught your attention, or that the algorithm simply placed it here. But what if this moment is no coincidence? What if you didn't find this message? What if it found you? Because the truth is, something in your reality is shifting. Something in your consciousness has started to move. And deep down you can feel it. There's a part of you that's been asking for change. A quiet voice that's been whispering that there's more than this. More clarity, more purpose, more alignment. And this message is the answer to that call. This isn't random. This is communication between timelines, between who you've been and who you're becoming, between your current self and the version of you that already lives in the reality you've been imagining. That future version of you is not waiting somewhere far away. It already exists right now, sending signals, guiding you toward what you're meant to understand. The truth is, transformation doesn't start when your circumstances change. It begins the moment your awareness shifts. The instant you realize your thoughts, emotions, and energy are not passive but creative. They are instructions to reality. You've been taught that life happens to you, that change takes time, that success depends on effort or luck. But what if reality is listening to your every frequency? What if your emotions are not just reactions but transmissions? What if every thought is a command shaping the field around you? Because that's exactly what's happening. Right now, as you take in these words, your energy is shaping outcomes. Every feeling, every choice, every belief is sending a signal through the quantum field, rippling across time and space, drawing experiences that match your vibration. You are not a passive observer. You are a creator in real time. And that realization changes everything. Most people wait for signs that things are improving, but the moment you start looking for evidence, you're already behind the process. Reality doesn't respond to waiting. It responds to being. It responds to alignment. It responds to certainty. If you've been feeling stuck, it's not because nothing is happening. It's because you've been tuned to the frequency of waiting instead of creating. You've been asking for change from the energy of not having it. And that's like trying to tune into a radio station while using the wrong signal. But the moment you shift your frequency, everything begins to move. The people, the opportunities, the timing, all of it rearranges itself to match who you're becoming. You don't have to force it. You just have to align with it. Alignment begins with awareness. It begins when you stop asking, when will it happen? And start asking, how is it already happening? Because when you shift that question, you shift your point of power. You step out of waiting and into creating. You stop living from reaction and start living from intention. This is how reality actually works. Energy before matter, belief before evidence, identity before outcome. You've already experienced it. Those moments when everything seems to fall into place. When you think of someone and they call. When an idea arrives at the perfect time. When something inside tells you to take a certain step and it leads exactly where you were meant to go. Those moments aren't luck. They're signals of alignment. Proof that the universe is responsive. Proof that your consciousness and reality are in constant conversation. That conversation is happening right now. You wouldn't be here if your future self hadn't guided you. This moment, this awareness is the connection point between who you've been and who you're becoming. And that recognition you feel right now, that subtle spark inside you, is confirmation. It's already happening. You're already shifting. You're already creating from a higher state of awareness. The only question now is whether you'll trust it, whether you'll allow yourself to believe that you are more than circumstance, more than history, more than the patterns you've repeated for years. Because the truth is, you've never been limited by your past. You've only been limited by your perception of it. Every version of you that ever existed still vibrates in the field, and every possible future is waiting for your attention. Whichever one you align with through thought, emotion, and action becomes your experience. It's that simple, that immediate, that real. You are a living frequency transmitter, and the signal you're sending is creating what comes next. So what are you broadcasting right now? Fear or faith, doubt or clarity, confusion or conviction, because whatever you focus on expands. Whatever you expect solidifies. Whatever you feel certain about, reality confirms. That's not motivation. That's physics. That's consciousness at work. This is the moment most people wake up. They realize that life isn't random, that everything, the timing, the connections, the challenges, has been arranged to awaken them to their creative power. And you are in that awakening right now. So take a breath and notice what's happening inside you as you take this in. The recognition, the curiosity, the quiet sense that something real is shifting, that's your signal. That's your confirmation. If you're seeing this, it's already happening. Your transformation is already underway, and your future self is smiling because you finally noticed. The shift has already begun. You can feel it even if you can't explain it yet. It's subtle at first, an internal pull, a growing awareness that something about the way you've been living no longer fits. The habits, the patterns, the stories you've told yourself, they're starting to feel too small for who you're becoming. That's not coincidence. That's evolution. And the discomfort you feel isn't a sign that you're lost. It's evidence that you're expanding. Every time your reality begins to stretch, your mind will try to resist. It will look for proof, for logic, for guarantees. It will ask for certainty before it allows change. But that's not how transformation works. The mind wants comfort. The soul wants growth, and growth doesn't come from what's familiar. It comes from trusting what you can feel before you can see it. Reality responds to energy, not effort. You've been conditioned to believe that if you just try harder, push more, and do everything right, the outcome will finally arrive. But that's the old model of creation, the one based on control and struggle. The new model is about alignment. It's about understanding that the energy you embody now is what determines what you attract later. Every moment, you're sending out a signal through your emotional state, through the frequency of your thoughts and intentions. You can't hide energy. You can't fake it. You can speak affirmations all day, but if your energy contradicts your words, the field responds to your true vibration, not the surface message. That's why inner alignment matters more than effort. When your thoughts, emotions, and energy move in harmony, the universe mirrors that back instantly. Think of your reality like a reflection. The world around you is not happening to you. It's happening because of you. Every situation, every interaction, every delay or breakthrough is a reflection of the vibration you're carrying. When something feels off, it's not punishment. It's feedback. It's reality showing you where your signal is out of tune. The moment you shift your internal frequency, the external world adjusts to match it. That's why you can't wait for circumstances to make you feel abundant, peaceful, or free. You have to feel those states first. You have to become them. Because the universe doesn't give you what you want. It gives you what you are. Most people misunderstand manifestation because they chase outcomes instead of energy. They focus on what they want instead of who they're being. They try to attract from lack, to create from doubt, to move forward while still holding on to fear. But you can't create a reality that contradicts your current vibration. You can't manifest expansion from contraction. The universe is not listening to your words. It's listening to your frequency. And when your energy finally matches the life you've been visualizing, you won't need to chase it. It will come to you naturally, effortlessly, because it has no choice but to align with you. You've already felt glimpses of that flow before. The moments when everything just clicks. When you stop trying and things fall into place. When the right person appears at the right time, or a sudden opportunity opens up out of nowhere. That's not luck, that's resonance. It's what happens when your vibration and your reality move in sync. And the more you stay in that state of awareness, the faster the alignment unfolds. The quantum field doesn't need time. It needs clarity. The only reason things take time is because your energy is shifting between frequencies. When you hold the signal steady, when you remain in trust, gratitude, and expectation, reality stabilizes around that vibration. The process is simple but not easy because it requires faith before evidence. It asks you to act from the energy of the outcome before you see any proof. It asks you to believe without needing reasons. That's where most people stop, because their mind can't handle the uncertainty. But that's also where the magic begins. The unknown is not empty. It's full of potential. Every possibility you've ever imagined already exists in that field. The moment you align your energy with one version of reality, you start to magnetize the conditions that make it visible. It's not about forcing the outcome. It's about becoming the version of you who already lives in it. You've been shifting into that version piece by piece, through the decisions you've made, the boundaries you've set, the moments you've chosen to trust your intuition over fear. Every time you followed that inner nudge, you sent a signal to the universe saying, "I'm ready." And the universe has been responding. The delays, the lessons, the redirections, they weren't detours. They were calibration points, each one fine-tuning your energy to match the reality you've been calling in. It's not that you're waiting for it to happen. It's that it's waiting for you to fully align. So right now, in this exact moment, something inside you knows it's time. Time to stop doubting. Time to stop overthinking. Time to stop looking outside for confirmation of what you already feel within. You don't need permission. You don't need perfect timing. You don't need proof. You only need to choose. To decide that the version of you who has already stepped into alignment is not in the future. It's you now. The sooner you claim that identity, the faster reality conforms to it. Because the universe doesn't respond to someday energy, it responds to now. This is the shift from hoping to knowing, from waiting to being, from trying to trusting. When you embody that energy consistently, life begins to reorganize itself in ways that make no logical sense. People will call it luck, but you'll know it's alignment. Things that once felt forced will start flowing. Things that used to drain you will naturally fall away. You'll start attracting experiences that match your new vibration without effort, because that's how energy works. The universe is a mirror, and it can only reflect what you hold inside. So when you become the vibration of clarity, of abundance, of peace, those reflections have to appear. This is your reminder that nothing outside you has to change first. The shift is internal. The alignment is emotional. The transformation is energetic. And once that happens, the external world simply catches up. You don't chase what's meant for you, you align with it. You don't force what's not ready. You trust the timing. You don't fight the old. You focus on becoming the new. And as you do, you begin to understand the deeper truth. If you're seeing this, it's already happening. You've crossed an invisible threshold. You may not realize it yet, but something in your energy has already changed. You're not the same person who began this journey. Your awareness has expanded. Your perception has shifted. And reality has started to reorganize itself around that shift. This is the stage where things can feel uncertain, even chaotic, because the old frequency is dissolving and the new one is stabilizing. The patterns that used to hold you no longer fit, and the people, habits, and thoughts that once felt familiar begin to fall away. It's not loss, it's alignment. The universe is clearing space for what matches your new vibration. And even if your mind tries to make sense of what's leaving, your soul already knows it's necessary. Every version of you vibrates at a different frequency. Each frequency holds its own reality, its own opportunities, lessons, relationships, and outcomes. When you raise your vibration, you shift timelines. You begin to resonate with the experiences that belong to the next level of your evolution. That's why some things feel like they're falling apart. They're not falling apart. They're falling away because they no longer match your signal. The universe doesn't take from you. It aligns you. And alignment often looks like endings before it looks like beginnings. This is where trust becomes your power. The mind wants to cling to what's known, to what feels safe and predictable. But the energy you're stepping into requires surrender. It requires you to release control and allow life to unfold from a higher order. You're learning to respond instead of react, to feel instead of force, to listen instead of chase. This is the frequency of flow. the space where you stop managing reality and start collaborating with it. That's where true manifestation happens, not through struggle but through resonance. Every emotion is a frequency. Gratitude, joy, love, and trust operate at higher vibrations, while fear, doubt, and resistance exist at lower ones. When you consciously choose emotions that align with your desired reality, you tune yourself to that frequency. This is why gratitude is powerful. It's not about pretending everything is perfect. It's about recognizing that you already have access to everything you need. The moment you feel gratitude for something, you align with the timeline where that thing is already true. The emotion is the evidence. The feeling is the signal. And the universe responds instantly to it. You've been taught to focus on action, to measure progress through visible results. But in this new state of awareness, you understand that energy precedes evidence. The inner work you're doing is not invisible. It's foundational. Every time you shift your state from fear to trust, from doubt to knowing, you're rewriting your energetic blueprint. And that new blueprint is what the quantum field uses to arrange your reality. So when things begin to change around you, don't question whether it's working. Know that it's working because you're changing. Reality doesn't transform first. You do. This is the part of the journey where patience becomes power. You'll notice that manifestations arrive faster when you stop waiting for them. When you stop checking for proof and start embodying certainty. Because the moment you release the need to control timing, you enter alignment with it. The quantum field is infinite. It doesn't understand waiting. It only understands frequency. The longer you maintain the vibration of already having, the faster that vibration solidifies into physical form. That's why trust is not passive, it's magnetic. Trust pulls reality into alignment. And yes, it's normal to have moments where doubt tries to creep back in. Old patterns might whisper that you're imagining things, that nothing's changing, that it's safer to stay comfortable. But every time you hear that voice, remember, it's not truth, it's memory. It's the echo of your old frequency trying to pull you back. Don't fight it. Observe it. Let it pass. You're not required to suppress doubt. You're only asked not to identify with it. Because the more you identify with your new energy, the faster the old patterns dissolve. There will be moments when everything seems to pause, when the universe goes silent and nothing moves. This is the integration phase. It's the energetic recalibration between who you were and who you're becoming. In those moments, your only job is to stay aligned, to keep choosing the energy of faith over fear, presence over panic, and clarity over confusion. You're not being tested, you're being tuned. The universe is matching your internal vibration to the external outcomes you've asked for. And once the frequencies match, manifestation becomes inevitable. You may start to notice small signs appearing around you, subtle synchronicities, numbers repeating, random alignments that seem too precise to be coincidence. These are confirmations that the new frequency is locking in. They're the universe's way of saying, keep going, you're aligned. Don't dismiss them, celebrate them. The more you acknowledge those signals, the more the field amplifies them. Awareness is acceleration. The moment you recognize alignment, it multiplies. This stage is where embodiment begins. It's no longer about understanding the concepts intellectually. It's about living them. Every decision becomes an act of alignment. Every word you speak becomes a declaration of your frequency. Every thought becomes a seed that reality waters instantly. And when you live with that level of awareness, manifestation stops being a practice and becomes your natural state. You don't try to attract, you become attractive. You don't chase what's meant for you. It finds you effortlessly because you're finally tuned to its signal. You are no longer seeking change. You are the change. You are the bridge between the seen and unseen, the physical and the energetic, the possible and the actual. Everything you've been asking for already exists. It's simply waiting for your full embodiment of it. And that's what this part of your journey is about. Embodying the energy of the version of you who already knows it's done. Because once you live from that knowing, nothing can stay the same. Reality has to follow. It has no choice. You are alignment in motion. You are transformation becoming visible. And as your energy continues to expand, your life will begin to mirror it in ways that will make you pause, smile, and realize that everything you ever hoped for was never outside you. It was always waiting within your frequency. If you're seeing this, it's already happening. And this is only the beginning of what's possible. By now, something inside you feels different. The words aren't just ideas anymore. They're starting to feel like truth. You can sense it in the calm between your thoughts, in the quiet knowing that no matter what things look like on the surface, something greater is unfolding underneath. This is what embodiment feels like. It's when knowledge becomes energy, and energy becomes identity. You no longer have to remind yourself to believe, because belief has turned into being. You're not trying to manifest anymore. You're simply existing in a state that makes manifestation inevitable. Everything you desire is already aligning, not because you're chasing it, but because you've finally become the frequency that attracts it. You've learned that reality isn't random, it's responsive. You've experienced how your emotions create signals, how your thoughts form structure, how your focus shapes form. You've realized that life doesn't happen to you. It happens through you. And now you stand in the space between who you were and who you're fully becoming, aware that both versions still exist, but only one is active, the one you choose to embody. You no longer look for signs that things are changing, because you understand that the evidence always comes after the energy. You trust the unseen, knowing that the moment you feel aligned, creation has already begun. This is where life starts to flow differently. Opportunities appear not because you chase them, but because they're magnetized to your vibration. The people you meet begin to reflect your growth back to you. Conversations feel lighter, decisions become clearer, and timing begins to work in your favor. You'll start to notice that you don't have to try so hard to be understood, because you're no longer speaking from need. You're speaking from alignment. The universe responds to your clarity. The clearer you are about who you are, the faster life rearranges to support that version of you. But embodiment doesn't mean perfection. You'll still have moments of doubt, days where old patterns resurface, times when you forget the truth you now know. That's part of the process. It's not regression, it's refinement. Each time you remember who you are, even after forgetting, your awareness expands. You integrate a deeper level of trust. You strengthen the signal. And with each return to alignment, your frequency becomes more stable, more magnetic, more powerful. The work was never about eliminating contrast. It was about learning how to stay centered within it. Your old reality might still echo around you for a while. You might still see fragments of the past showing up in small ways. Don't resist them. Those echoes are just delayed reflections of an energy you no longer hold. Observe them with detachment and gratitude, because they remind you of how far you've come. You've stepped out of reaction and into creation. You've stopped searching for external validation and started living from inner knowing. You're no longer trying to prove your worth. You're embodying it. That's the frequency that changes everything. The more you live in alignment, the less you need to control outcomes. You begin to understand that the universe always responds to your highest vibration, even when the path doesn't look like you expected. You stop asking, why is this happening? And start asking, what is this teaching me? You move from resistance to receptivity, from effort to ease, from fear to faith. And in that shift, life becomes a mirror of your consciousness. The external world bends to your energy, and the experiences that once felt out of reach become natural extensions of who you are. This is what true freedom feels like. The ability to move through life without needing certainty, because you trust your energy more than your circumstances. You stop looking for guarantees, because your alignment is the guarantee. You realize that everything that happens, even the detours, serves your expansion. Every delay becomes divine timing. Every challenge becomes a lesson in energy management. You stop asking the universe for signs and start recognizing that you are the sign. You are the proof that energy creates reality. From this space, you no longer chase manifestations. They chase you. You no longer wait for opportunities, you magnetize them. You no longer force connections, they align effortlessly. This is the point where you understand that abundance, love, peace, and purpose were never things to find. They were frequencies to remember. And now that you've remembered, the search is over. You're not becoming who you're meant to be. You already are. The rest of your life is simply the expression of that realization. When you live from this awareness, everything becomes sacred. Every moment feels intentional. You begin to see the divine order in timing, the perfection in uncertainty, the purpose in the process. You start to understand that manifestation isn't about getting what you want. It's about aligning with who you truly are. And who you truly are is already whole, already complete, already connected to everything you've ever desired. You're not trying to reach alignment. You are alignment. You're not seeking light. You are light. Take a moment right now to feel it. The stillness, the awareness, the quiet certainty that what you've been creating is already in motion. You don't have to do anything else. You just have to remain in resonance with what you already know. The universe has received your signal. The energy has been sent. The alignment is done. And from here, all you have to do is allow. If you're seeing this, it's not a coincidence, it's confirmation. You've already crossed the threshold. You've already become the vibration of everything you once hoped for. And soon that energy will crystallize into experiences that remind you that none of this was ever out of reach. It was always you. It was always happening. And now it's finally visible. So breathe, trust, and remember, this is not the beginning of your transformation. This is your transformation. The evidence is unfolding. The reality is aligning, and your future self is no longer a vision. It's who you are right now. If you're seeing this, it's already happening. And this time you know it.